Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this demo video. If you're interested in getting a comprehensive walkthrough of the back end of the system, being your event management dashboard, we do already have a video walking through that, which I will link below, but you can also find on our YouTube channel. To get started here, I always like to touch specifically on a few customization and aesthetic options for your website. As for the overall layout, we do have two main site themes. The theme that you're looking at here is horizontal navigation, meaning that the page options go horizontally across the top and you can take advantage of this full width banner. We do also have a left-hand navigation theme, which offers a little bit of a different look. Your banner, instead of being full width, is more of an overlay, and then you'll notice that the page options go vertically down the left-hand side. These options do not influence the functionality of your website in any way. They just change the overall appearance, so entirely preference-based. In addition to theme options, we also have an array of color options. This goes for the overall theme color down to colors of specific buttons on your website. Thanks to our most recent update, we now have a really cool feature where you can just click on the event logo that you've uploaded and then pull colors directly from that to distribute throughout your website. This is a really great option if you may not necessarily have the hex colors for your company or organization, but still want to reflect yourself throughout. But of course, you can also come in here and paste a specific hex code if that's better for you. You'll notice too that you can switch out the banner image here in this template section. So you can switch out an image that you might have uploaded, or you can make use of some of our royalty-free images that we have already available to you. Moving on to the actual event details page here, also known as the home page for your event site, you'll notice that we have an auto-scrolling carousel. This offers some great value to all prospective sponsors of your event because their logos and names will be prominently shown throughout the website, and you can also specifically recognize them based on the level that they sponsored at. All of these logos, of course, are clickable and would bring you out to that respective sponsor's website. Similarly, as for the BirdEase logo here in the banner, that is entirely customizable too. That BirdEase logo would not be present. It would instead be your own tournament or organization specific logo. Moving down a little bit here to the actual event details portion of your homepage, you'll notice here on the left that you have an open text space to talk a little bit about your event. You can share some details, embed flyers, add a photo or video, whatever makes the most sense for you, whatever you'd like to be seen right away on your website, you can add to this event description space. Over here on the right hand side, you'll notice event date and itemized times for each occurrence, a way to reach out to the main event contact, and a physical location for your tournament or other fundraising event. We do also have a Google Maps widget. This will actually auto-populate for you based on the physical address that you've entered, and it is mobile friendly. If somebody were to click on that, they can get directions right from your website, which makes the day of travel super easy for them. Next up, we'll move on to the register page. This is a space for you to share all of your registration opportunities, whether that be standard golfer, volunteer registration opportunities, or even add-ons like raffle tickets, mulligans, drink tickets, and so on. We do also offer a full cart system, which streamlines the checkout process for your registrant and compiles a nice, tidy registration for you on the back end of the system. As you can see here, let's say I wanted to sign up to golf as a single. I'd also like to purchase 5 raffle tickets and invite a guest along for dinner. I'm able to add all of that to my cart just like if I was shopping online, and then I could click register for event to check out with all of that at the same time. Now, we do recognize that in cases where people are purchasing multi-golfer packages, they may not always know who they plan to golf with straight away. Let's say I was purchasing this registration on somebody else's behalf. I was checking out, but I'm not the one who's going to be golfing. I could even delete my information here from this golfer section and then continue on to pay, all without noticing any sort of stunt in the registration process. Now, once I submit payment, I'll receive an auto-generated confirmation email that lets me know that I am properly signed up for the event, and that will actually provide me with a link to access my registration at a later time, which allows you to go in and provide those golfers information when it's more convenient. You'll notice here that we do have different categories categories separating the registration items such as golf registration, volunteer registration, add-ons, and day of items. This is especially useful for your registrants. They're scrolling down the page, they can see different categories and get to exactly what they're looking for. They can also filter off irrelevant options, so that way, for example, someone was coming to your site to sign up as a volunteer, they could click on volunteer registration and just see those items catered to them. This setup is entirely optional. If you'd like all of your registration items to be listed without dividers, you can certainly do that as well. Now, moving on to the sponsorships page. This is a space for you to list all of your sponsor packages. You can offer as many or as few packages as you would like. Set your own name, content, and pricing for each. You can also set limited purchase quantities, so if a particular level is exclusive, or if you have limited resources like whole signs, for example, for those whole sign sponsors, you can set a purchase limit from the start and the system will track that automatically for you, reflect current availability, and automatically mark that item as sold out once the limit has been hit. Another cool part about our sponsor sign-up process is that they will be prompted to provide all of their own information. So the main registrant will not only fill out their info, but they'll also be asked to provide info for the company. This includes the company name, link to their website, image file of their logo, and brief description of their company. All of this will populate in a sponsor images section for you, so you can easily display all of the content that they provided on your website, and you can also download the logos they provided in full resolution to your computer to easily make those whole signs, promotional materials, social media posts, and so on. Moving on to the About Us page, this is a space for you to talk a little bit about you, your organization, the cause that you're benefiting, basically just telling people where funds are going after the event. Here you can provide photo, video, anything that you'd like for your registrants to see on the website. Next up is the Our Supporters page. This is another space for you to really recognize the sponsors of your event. You'll notice that not only are their logos and names shown here, but also a brief description of their company, plus any links that they provided, being website and social media links. Similar to the registration and sponsorship pages, you'll see that you can also categorize your sponsors and choose the size that they're shown on your website. This is another optional customization feature. If you'd like to list all of your sponsors in the same way, the same size on this page, you certainly can. Either way you go, you do ultimately have influence over the order in which your logos are displayed. So if you really just want to make sure that your highest level sponsors show up first on the page, but aren't too worried about the size that they're shown, you can easily drag and drop them into place in the sponsor images section on the back end of the system. Next, I'll show you the auction items page, which is actually our built-in silent auction system that comes included as a part of the software. There is no extra cost to use it. There are no fees associated with it. If you'd like to run a silent auction, you can load in your items. If you'd prefer not to, maybe you're running a raffle instead, something like that, you can also just keep this page hidden from your website. When folks come to bid on your items, they'll press this More Detail Place Bid button. This will pull up some more information about the item that you would have provided and also allow them to provide their contact and bid amount. Providing their contact not only allows you to reach out to them if they win, but also allows our system to keep them very involved in the auction process. And that anytime they're outbid, they can be notified that this has happened with a direct link to get back into your auction system for them to continue bidding. This really opens up fundraising possibilities for you because it allows people to remain competitive even if they may not be in attendance at your silent auction. Once you're ready for the auction to end, you can either schedule a time for the auction to auto-close or you can go in and manually shut it down. This will automatically mark all highest bidders as winners and allow you to send them a direct link to pay through the BirdEase website. You'll also have access to an automated auction report that will list all bids that were made across all of your items. It will detail the information for each bidder and, of course, provide you with the info for your winners. Moving on to the Make a Donation page. This one is pretty straightforward, but a lot of people are just pleasantly surprised by the amount of outright donations that they receive. Every BirdEase site is live for a full year, so of course prior to the event, while you're collecting registrations and sponsorship signups, you can have this make a donation page open for people to add a little bit something extra to their cart, or to make an outright donation to you if they're unable to attend. During the event, you can also make a call for donations, asking people to return to the website and contribute if they're having a good time. And then even after your event is over, you can shut down registration for your website, but keep it open for people to return to. You can use your homepage to talk a little bit about how the event went, share some photos, tease next year's event information when you have it, and then just keep this make a donation page open year-round as a place for people to return to and contribute to your cause. Now, a few things that are always important to mention, although you can't necessarily see them from the forward-facing site. First off is the Registrant management section. This is a huge part of our software. Every time somebody signs up, they're automatically added into this Registrant section. This allows you to fully manage everything. You can go in and view registrants, add, edit, or remove certain registrations, retrieve PDF invoicing for each registrant, and access your auto-compiled reports. We do put together a full report for you that actually details everyone who is registered for your event, and it actually tabs out into each different registration type, so you'll have dedicated spreadsheets for every kind of golfer, every level of sponsorship, any add-ons, and so on, so that keeps you nice and organized by default. We also have a golfer emails report, so if you're partial to an external email service that isn't our own message center, you can certainly pull out golfer emails and import it into your own system. And then we also have the whole assignments report, which is also more simply known as your tee sheet. This plays hand in hand into our golfer assignments builder, which you can access in the golfer assignments dropdown under the aptly named builder. Here you'll see a list of all of your golfers down the left-hand side. You can click the auto assign button to assign the entire tee sheet. The system will keep people who registered together on tees together automatically and piece together the rest. You, of course, are the event manager, so you can make edits as you see fit. You can drag and drop golfers between tees, and you can also manually assign them from within their registration in the registrants section. But whenever you're happy with the way your tee sheet looks here, you'll also find the download reports drop down accessible here, so that way you can grab that whole assignments sheet, which will be a spreadsheet version of exactly what you've built here in this section. Another really valuable piece of the software is this check-in page. This is just a really great thing to use on the day of the event if you're interested in keeping track with the comings and goings of your golfers and making sure that everyone is checked in. We do have an online check-in function, so you can send out an email to all of your attendees allowing them to check themselves in ahead of time. This doesn't always work for everyone. Maybe you want to make 100% certain that everybody passes by a certain table for golfer gifts or tournament t-shirts or something like that, so you'd really prefer that they didn't check themselves in at home. Regardless of whether or not you use that feature, if it works for you, you will also have access to this check-in page. You can easily search through names to find registrants and golfers, and then check them in as individuals or entire groups at a time depending on how they're arriving. You can easily sort between those who have checked in and have not checked in yet, and then you can also view paid status and go in and use the action items for registrants here. You'll notice that you can also view tee assignment and leave notes under each golfer. So again, just a really great resource for the day of your event. The last feature I like to mention back here is our message center. This is our fully functioning email center where you can draft up messages. You can set your content and subject for each message, pull recipient lists directly from the system. You are welcome to upload your own document into our system if you have an existing list of contacts that you'd like to send an invitation out to, for example, but we try to make it very easy to keep in touch with your registrants from year to year. You can pull directly from your registrants and participants and say, I would like all registrants and golfers to receive the email that's going out about my event. And don't worry, we do avoid duplicates. So if a main registrant is also a golfer in their foursome, for example, they will not be emailed twice. You can then head over to Send and Track to send out those emails, track responses, see who opened and has not opened the email, any emails that bounced, and so on, so you know exactly who you need to follow up with. A pretty common question that we get is whether or not we take online payment. The simple answer is yes, we do. BirdEase, as a software company, we are not one of those platforms that takes your funds, takes a percentage of your profit, and then cuts you a check at the end. We instead offer you software and then have partnered with our payment partner that helps us offer BirdEase payments, which is actually one of 11 different card processing options. Now, if you have any further questions about payment processing, if you'd like a rundown specifically on BirdEase payments, or if you just want to chat generally about taking payment through your website, you have a few different options. And this goes for any questions that you have from this point. So we do have a help center baked right into our event management dashboard. You'll be able to see it when you're logged into your own site. There's a little question mark icon in the top right corner. This will actually suggest articles to you that we've written based on the page that you are currently in. Super, super useful. We do also have a little blue chat icon down here in the bottom right. This gives you a way to manually search through our help center. So maybe the question mark icon didn't give you exactly what you were looking for. So you might search, how do I take payment? And then that would suggest an article to you that we've written based on your specific question. You can also reach out to talk real time with a member of our support team using this little blue chat icon. As I mentioned in the beginning, we do also have a separate walkthrough video on getting started with this dashboard. So of course, I did not take the time to go through every single tab. If you would like to move on and now watch that video to really round out your understanding of the BirdEase platform, please feel free to do so. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to a member of our support team anytime. Thank you so much again for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and we cannot wait to help you with your fundraising event.